What is up, beautiful babies? Welcome to another episode of Bellcast. I'm Gio.
I'm Bart.
I'm the one that never wears headphones.
I always wear.
Or that stopped wearing headphones.
How come you stopped wearing it?
Because I like wearing cute earrings. And then this top part of my head, or the cushiony part, like I guess we all have soft spots on our skull.
Yeah.
So like it falls right on the soft spot and it starts hurting my head.
I noticed like all the podcasts, everyone would wear it. And then now, like when I see the podcast videos coming out, it's actually more rare to find people wearing it. Like Tom Segura doesn't wear one. Joe Rogan doesn't wear one. Bert Kreischer doesn't wear one. And when I see people now, what they've even done, I've seen setups just to like, I think, capture everything. I've seen people have 2 mics now. So you know how we have 1 mic right here, like 1 mic each? It'll be 2 mics per person just in case people move and whatever. So they're like, I really just want to be free and just be able to capture everything.
Yeah, why do you wear them?
I don't know. I think because like maybe it's my OCD where I'm like, I got to make sure the sound is good at all times. So at least one person is plugged in.
Okay, cool. Whatever.
But if we had a sound person, like, on like a lot of like Joe Rogan, right? He has Jamie.
We do have a sound person. We have a camera guy. We have a light guy.
That's true. We have a giant team. This is actually like 4 people. And we just draped a sheet over 4 people. Stop moving.
No, I'm just kidding. It's just us 2. Anyway.
Yeah. And I think if we had like a sound person, then someone could just be like, and I'm, oh, shoot. Okay. And then I'll know what to adjust.
I think the sound person wouldn't distract us like that and they would just fix the sound.
Yeah. See, that's how little I know.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, anyway. So how are your hands doing? Your eczema hands. That just made me think of it because you started rubbing
they're
them
actually
together.
doing way better. And so my hands are pretty much healed now. The problem is with the steroid cream, it is pretty abrasive. So although it's zapped out, it's kind of, I guess it's kind of like the same concept as chemo. When you have cancer and you go through chemo and they say like it kills your good cells as much as the bad cells, but you kind of need to do that. So my dehydrosis is pretty much completely gone. And I've actually already swam a few times too, and it hasn't come back. So I'm like, yes. But because that thing is so abrasive, my hands, like, if I don't put lotion or anything on it, it just gets dry like immediately and it gets really tight.
That's how I feel.
And you can tell that my hands are just on the verge of peeling. Watch, even touch me, my index finger right here, just touch it. See how rough that is? Like even with lotion on, it's very rough.
I mean, that's how your hands felt before.
No, it's a little bit softer. So my feet are almost there. I think my feet are 1 week behind.
Your feet look crazy. They look like the foot doctor like ads.
Yeah.
Like where they're like, this is what it looks like now, but this is what it looked like before. And the skin's all falling off and there's like layers of like dry skin just cracking and like about to fall. That's what your feet look like.
You know what it looks like?
Or like when kids used to put glue on their hand, let that shit dry.
Yeah.
And then that's what your feet look like.
It
Sorry,
looks
y'all.
like,
That's nasty.
What's that guy's name? Serdoran, whatever. When he got bit by like those gray people.
The rock people?
Yeah, the rock people. Like dragon scale. That's what it looks like.
No, it's not that cool.
Oh, fine. It looks nasty.
Yeah, it's not that cool.
Yeah, but my feet are a week behind because they say the calluses on your feet are a little bit thicker. So it takes longer to penetrate and it takes longer to heal too.
I don't know why I like that word penetrate so much.
I know why you like it.
Okay, so we're talking about your hands. And now, okay, wait. I hope I've talked about it here, but I know I've talked about it like on JK News and stuff. But it's just so...
What are we waiting for?
What do you mean?
You said wait.
Yeah, my thought.
Oh,
wait
okay.
for my thought.
So you're talking about it to yourself?
Well, before I move on to a new thing, I want to
Okay.
stay on this topic.
Okay, stay.
Okay. Damn it. So I know I've talked about it. I don't know if it's on camera, off camera, whatever. But just being married to Bart is the funniest shit. And just being married to Bart for the sake of seeing his like routines of all the shit that's fucked up with him,
Do you think
like
I'm a
physically,
joke? Am I a joke to you?
is interesting.
Am I a joke to you?
No, it's interesting. It's not funny. It's interesting.
So you're saying I'm the world's most interesting man?
No, hell no, not even close. But you're pretty interesting. So Bart had, so at this time, this snippet in our relationship, and recently, he had the dehydrosis. It was full blown, so he's scratching everywhere. He's still trying to put on that cream. So he used to put on the cream. At that time, he had all these little like gnat or mosquito bites.
Whatever they are.
And he had like 40 of them. Like
Yeah.
he had like 10 on one side of his arm, 10 on the other side, like 20 on like, that's already bad math, but you know what I mean? 10 on his leg, 10, like
wrecked.
he had them everywhere.
Yeah.
He got super tan because we've been swimming this like most of this quarantine. So then he would scratch them so hard that they started getting white. So he's still scratching right now. If you guys can't see his hand,
It itches.
yeah. So then
an
he would put ointment on them at night, then use Scotch tape to trap in whatever ointment he put on his body so that it doesn't rub off while he's sleeping. So now imagine 40 strips of Scotch tape. His hands are all jacked up. He's scratching everywhere. He gets a bloody nose. So now he has a bloody nose. He has tissue in one side of his nostril. At that time too, and I'm talking about maybe even last month, his ear was clogged. He gets this thing every year where his ear just produces all this wax.
If I'm swimming a lot, it gets sloshed around in there.
He has dry earwax, but instead of using the proper tools to clean that out, he uses Q-tips, which you're not supposed to use anymore, but people with wet earwax will use that because it sticks to the cotton ball, and all basically Bart's doing is just like shoving it in there and like compressing it. So then he gets this like squishy bottle type of apparatus to use water to drain whatever crap is in his ear. So he does that, does it too hard, pops his ear fucking drum so he can't even hear now. So he's like this itchy guy that like his hands are like all itchy, but they're all wet because he has to like now wear gloves because of his dishydrosis. He's got Scotch tape everywhere. He's got some shit in his nose. And now he keeps going, huh? Because he can't even hear.
I can't hear. I'm not my dad.
You kept going, huh? And then you would turn your good ear in my direction.
Well, that's your fault for talking to the wrong ear.
So it's just an interesting thing. And now, so his hands are a little bit better. He's still scratching a lot, as you guys can see. His ear's back to normal, right? Is your ear better?
It's way better. I think it's perfect now. Oh yeah, I went down to 13 feet yesterday.
Oh,
yeah, it was perfect.
Beautiful. Okay, so his ears better. Can you show them your index fingers? I said index, motherfucker. There we go. So now what happened with your index fingers? It's like you get rid of one thing to get another thing.
2020 has been the worst year.
I fucking hate you, 2020. If you're listening right now, suck a dick.
It's been the worst year for my body too. Like, just in addition to everything that's going on, also my body. Because the other day, at Barbell, our gym's open, and I'm so excited. And I went to the leg extension machine, and for some reason, there's this part where like you know how at the machines like you can adjust like a bench that goes up and down. It's like a sliding thing with holes, the slider. I don't know why. Someone pulled it all the way out, so it's not even being used the way it's supposed to be. Someone pulled the thing all the way out of here, and then so when I went to go push the bench down, it wasn't going in, of course. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Let me guide it into the hole, and then so that it can go back down. The minute I guided the metal thing in the hole, it just clicked and it went whoosh like that. So it chopped off an entire piece of my finger. It wasn't one of those, you know when you get cut, and then you're like, oh, is that bad? And then you're like, blood starts coming out.
Oh,
It was one of those where it went and blood just spurted. It was just went and I'm like,
Did you clean the blood? Did you clean the blood?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I cleaned it. I got a Band-Aid. I wrapped it up, and then I finished my workout. And then I think my whole Band-Aid, because of when you're working out, there's like blood pumping.
Blood, yeah.
Yeah, it just drenched the whole thing. So I got this index finger messed up. This one yesterday, I was training with one of my friends. He came all the way from Orange County. Shout outs to Pitbull. And I was watching him put all these plates together so he could do dips, and they kept falling all over. So here, let me go help you hold one of them. And when I was holding one of the plates, the other plate came and fell on my finger. So now this one's bruised, and it hurts a lot because my finger now is bruised. So now I got two messed up index fingers. And then so now when I'm washing my head, I have to scrub my head like this. And then even yesterday when I was like washing Taika, I'm like washing him with my index finger sticking out.
Giving him a bath?
Yeah.
Anything else wrong with your body? Damn.
For now, well, I guess kind of have a toothache too.
You
I
do?
gotta go see a dentist. It's been like that for like a week now. I don't know. Just 2020 for my body is not fun. But I got clear vision from my ICL surgery a few years ago. And
that was years ago.
I know, but
so
I'm
you're
like,
still holding on to that?
well, it's like,
It was just so severe.
Yeah, my eyesight was just so bad. You know, like people always ask
I know. You were this guy. Whoa, sorry guys. You know I love you.
Yeah.
If I wake up, like we're not even like super committed, right? Like we're first dating. I sleep over, you sleep over, whatever. I see you in the morning, and this is how you would answer your texts.
Well, I can't see.
But you know how stupid this looks? Fine. But I still loved you.
Thank you.
You were doing this fucking shit.
Thank you.
I'm like, how the fuck does this even work?
Yeah, so
that's pretty bad.
That's like people always go, oh, what would you rather do? Would you rather lose your hearing, or would you rather lose your taste or whatever? Like that's when I realized your eyesight is so important, because I lived my whole life without eyesight, but being able to see clearly 24/7, I'm like dealing with all this is worth it.
All right, cool. I'm happy you have that.
And I have one more thing. My calf. I went to go shoot for our new amphibious shorts for the Barbell Brigade, and while we're running in the mountains, freaking stupid. I knew I should have put on. I should have put on bug repellent.
You even have bug repellent soap. That's how bad you get.
I know,
bit.
but I was like out there, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be out here for long. I'm not. And then I was like looking around. There wasn't that many bugs, and so I didn't. And then all of a sudden, I come back home, and my right calf specifically is swollen and hot.
But it looks good.
Does it?
Your calf looks really good.
But I can't even really move because my skin's so tight. It hurts.
Oh, I mean, but it looks good.
Thank you.
You have like those Popeye calves. Well,
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
But speaking of like, would you rather? Don't be sad. But you're okay. You're alive. You're healthy. You're just the strongest and leanest you've been.
That's all I can ask
far.
for is just I have time with my family. I mean, in 2020, it's been a rough year, but the fact that we have our businesses, we have jobs, we have each other, we have our family. I mean, there's
no one's gotten sick yet. Knock on wood. Like we've been really
we have our
healthy.
health. Like if I really think about it, the things that are really important we have.
We chilling.
And I feel very grateful. And I'm very happy.
Yeah. No, I'm with you 100%. Like I'll get bit by 100 mosquitoes if I need to, just as long as I can be living the life I'm living right now.
You know what's crazy?
What?
Me and Taika saw a beehive the other day.
Like the freaking Winnie the Pooh hive?
No, where were we at? It was just crazy because you know Taika's.
Where the fuck did that come from? I was talking about how I'm grateful.
Because you're gonna get bit by 100 mosquitoes, and I was like, oh, and I started picturing 100 mosquitoes, and I was like,
and they turned into bees.
I was like, oh shit, I saw like 1,000 bees the other day. So you know how Taika
1,000?
Yeah, you know how Taika is
fascinated by bees.
Well, he has a relationship with bees. Where
they love bites.
He already got stung twice.
Yeah.
So when he sees a bee, he's like bee, like that, right? Like he already like
my poor baby. He's already traumatized.
Yeah, he's already traumatized.
He hears the zzz. He's like Peter, like Captain Hook.
Yeah.
Like as soon as he hears the TikTok, that's what's happening.
Yeah, and where were we? Why was it just me and him?
Yeah, what the fuck? You never invite me anywhere.
Did I take him to the park? Were
you? Is this when you guys went on a bike ride?
Was it? It could be. It could have been. We were doing something really fun without you. What was that really fun thing we did without you?
I mean, that usually happens daily. Like, I don't find out about shit that happened until I look at your Instagram and I'm like, how come I wasn't invited? I was like right next to you.
Fine. I forgot what we're doing.
I'm just kidding, by the way.
But we're like playing around. And then, remember we were kicking the ball back and forth or something. I don't know.
Does it matter?
Like,
do these details fucking matter?
I don't know. But he was like, B, like that. And I was like, oh no, I think this is when he was speechless actually. Because he was like, and I didn't know what he was talking about. So I thought it was just like messing around. So maybe I was still messing with my bike and I was still doing whatever. And then he was like,
Wait, can he speak at this time?
This is like
recently?
last week or a few days ago.
Okay.
And then but then I think he just caught off guard because he's never seen that many bees. And he go, bee. And then I look and there's a swarm of them. You know when you watch like those like documentaries with the people that like the bee tenders or whatever, and there's just a swarm of them covering. I couldn't even see what they're covering.
Whoa!
So if it wasn't a beehive,
how far would you say that was from you?
Probably where this camera is right
Oh
here.
my god!
Yeah, it was.
You need to be more vigilant, man.
It was covered with bees,
and you could hear them though.
No, I couldn't. We couldn't hear him. So I grabbed Taika and I ran off to the side because I know his history with bees. So I grabbed him. I ran off to the side. I'm like, stay right here. And then I think I went back to get whatever I was doing. Maybe it was the bike.
You probably put him next to another bee because your deaf ass couldn't hear him. Trust me.
No, I remember
me.
it was when you know how when we were riding bikes that night and then we saw that one park, that really cool park, and then in the neighborhood over. So we were on our way to finding that park when, remember I was telling you my chain popped off?
Yeah.
So I was fixing the chain during that time.
Yeah, but anyone that's listening right now, if you are anywhere near Beehive, you hear it's loud. It's loud. We've been on hikes. Can you stop scratching yourself? It's fucking distracting.
Don't look over here.
I can't. You keep moving.
No, don't look below the line.
Stop. That's even more distracting. But yeah, like I've been on hikes and you just hear zzz, but like times 100.
Yeah, but we're in the city. Like there's all kinds of other noises too.
We don't live in the fucking city. What are you talking about?
We live in a city of some sort. We don't live in the country.
Okay, this shit is the quietest city I've ever lived in.
Well, guess what? It's still a city and there's city noises.
All right, well.
There's lawnmowers going off. There's freaking Mexicans screaming.
Okay, what? What Mexicans are you talking about?
The ones that live over there.
You're tripping. Mexicans don't scream.
Yeah, they go.
I know, we're pretty happy. I love it. I fucking love my people. Why are we talking about this?
I don't know. You brought it up. You crazy?
No, I didn't. I was talking about mosquitoes and how I'd rather be bitten, and then you hijacked the whole conversation.
I didn't hijack it. I was like, the freaking bees. I saw a freaking whole thing of bees the other day.
All right, you know what? Just introduce our first sponsor.
All right, fine.
I like how quickly you shut up.
So shout outs to our sponsor, Manscaped. Are you prepared to unveil your summer bod?
Ooh.
Manscaped is here to ensure your post-quarantine body is ready for the wild.
Yes.
Don't be the guy at the beach with the bear rug on your chest. And if you grew some quarantine man tits, the least you can do is make sure they're hairless.
Yeah.
So I really, really love the Lawnmower 3.0, which comes in the Perfect Package 3.0 because it's waterproof and has a cordless body trimmer and has a ton of other liquid formations to round out your manscaping routine.
Yeah, and it seems like it's made like ergonomically to fit your hand.
Have you used it?
I mean, I've messed with it. I haven't used it.
Why don't you try it on your woman's?
Because I like a close shave.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like the rubber that they use is specific, like it's like anti-slip rubber that I absolutely love. The size of it is really cool. Like I'm not familiar with like clippers of any sort because I never had to use them, but I've seen yours and the ones that you use for your hair are huge. And I was always
that's
like,
not
how
the normal size.
Oh, it's not?
This is a good size, yeah.
Oh yeah, this size is really good because I'm just like, how the hell do you use regular clippers to? Because that's what you used to use.
Yeah, I don't like clippers that take two hands to use. I need one. I'm just gonna use one hand. But anyways, what are you laughing for? So what's really cool is what I really like about the Manscaped thing is, when you buy like a traditional trimmer that doesn't have like a clipper guard, it's just like the blade part of it, right? So you do get your nuts and your balls, and that looks good. But
What's
problem
the difference
is
between your nuts and your balls?
I mean, your balls and your dick.
Okay.
And so that part looks good, but the problem is we have hair in all sorts of places.
Oh,
right?
I've seen it. Yeah.
So I also have hair like on my thighs, and then it kind of like I have like this natural fade that goes from my crotch to my thighs and up to my happy trail and my belly button and all that. So what I like about the lawnmower is that it has a clipper guard too, so that you can just quickly trim the other places
without the skin getting caught up.
Yeah. So it looks like you were brought into this world this way, rather than having completely shaven nuts and dick and still a ton of hair on your legs, and it looks weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like you don't just have hair on your pubic hair, like you have it, like it grows to the side. So I usually on my dick and balls,
Yes, yep.
I use without the guard, just the ceramic blades, and I shave all of that. Then on the sides, I use the clipper guard, and then so it looks clean and it looks like I came into the world this way. And right now, for all of our listeners, you get 20% off plus free shipping with the code BEAW20. That's BEAW20 at manscaped.com. Do yourself a favor and always use the right tools for the job. Look good. Get ready for your summer bod. If you're going to be going to pool parties, going to the beach, you don't want all that weird hair popping out, sticking out, looks ugly. Get 20% off with free shipping with the code BEAW20, BEAW20 at manscaped.com.
Yeah. It just reminded me of the story my brother was telling me, because you know how you were talking about you use the clipper guard?
Yeah. The plastic thing that goes on there. Yeah.
I'm not too familiar with it, but the clipper guards so that you can like do around your dick and balls so that everything looks like it's a nice fade.
Yeah.
So I guess my brother didn't have that because you've actually gifted him a Manscaped and he's loved
cool.
it.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Oh, cool. You don't remember?
I do.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
I just know he was using it.
Yeah. So he uses it. He loves it. I thought he even texted you. Thanks.
I don't need a text from him. I need a text from his wife.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, so I guess he didn't charge it or he didn't have it readily available. So he's taking a shower and then he sees his wife's razor, like the female razor.
Yeah.
So he's like trying to get that area to make it look like it faded. So he uses that, not really thinking how close of a shave he's about to get.
Yeah.
So he shaves that part off and then it's like super white now. There's no hair and it's just a big ass patch. So he's like, holy shit. So he ended up having to shave his entire leg, like 2 legs. And this dude's like 6'3".
Oh, damn.
Yeah. And he was like, that was the most uncomfortable shit ever. Because it's like smooth the first day. And then every day after that, it just comes in more prickly.
But at least when they're having sex for that one night, maybe his wife was like, damn, your legs are smooth.
If you like that thing, I don't know. I'm a not hairy kind of girl. So, you know what? I don't know if I mind. But
what?
Like just a lot of hair. I think I mind. And I think I would mind if it was too soft. Because I'd be like, I don't know.
Did you think it was weird all the swimmers in high school, they were all shaving?
I guess I didn't think about it in terms of in a relationship how that would feel. Like
Just in general.
I never thought that was weird because I'm also an athlete, so I get the competitive advantage to all that stuff. So I'm like, oh, okay, they're doing it for the sport. So that's why, like, you know how you have hats? You have your science hat.
But are they really? Because there'll be times where I'm like, I think when I first found out, I'm like, yo, did you shave your fucking legs? And then they'll be like, yeah, oh yeah, I'm a swimmer, dude. And I'm like, did you really shave those legs
to get
because you want to swim, or you just want to shave your legs and you're embarrassed to tell me the real reason why? That's what I'm thinking in my brain.
Maybe because does it really, like, if you're at like a high school level of competition, I don't know shit about this, but if you're at a high school level competition, does hair on your legs actually slow you down that much?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, are you going to the Olympics?
I thought you were a swimmer.
What do you mean?
I don't know how else to ask that fucking question.
Well, I was even worse than the high school.
You were a swimmer.
I was even worse than the high school level. I was in the junior high level. So at that time, I think hair really doesn't matter.
I thought you swam in high school.
Recreationally.
Oh,
not competitively.
Oh, okay.
But I swam competitively in junior high. And at that level, everyone sucks. So I don't think it matters.
I know. I always find it really cute when like you ask somebody, you're like, oh man, did you play basketball or did you play volleyball? And they're like, yup. I played it in junior high. And immediately my head goes, I mean, I don't know any junior highs that are that fucking bomb. I could be wrong. But from my experience, the junior high level is pretty shitty, you know? So they're like, yeah, I played in junior high. And I'm like, why would you even mention that, bro?
That's how I feel about people with musical instruments.
When they say, oh, that's what I did.
Exactly. No, because I'll be like, someone will be like,
hey, I played flute, all right?
Yeah, someone will be like, I'm a musician. I'm like, oh, for reals? I'm like, what do you play? And they'll be like, oh, I play flute. Or something like that.
Hey, what the fuck?
And then I'm like,
are you talking about me? And you're just scared to talk shit?
And I'm like, cool. I'm like, you know how to read music? And they're like,
I used to.
No. I'm like, you know how to jam? And they're like,
yeah, I know how to jam.
And like, no. And I'm like, okay, so you don't play flute? They go, no, I did. I played 2 years in high school. And I'm like, no, yeah, but you forgot it, so you don't play flute now.
No, hey, I played 2 years in junior high, right? Get that shit right.
No, if 2 years in junior high, if you don't know how to do it now, you don't do it. I don't like it. I don't like people that always try to jump in the conversation. They're like, oh yeah, I play piano. I'm like, really?
Oh, if they try to jump in a conversation.
Do you know how to read sheet music? No. Do you know how to jam right now? No. What do you know how to play? Oh, I still remember how to play this one song that I learned in 2nd grade. I'm like, that's not, you know how to play one song. You don't know how to play piano.
Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb and she said, fuck you too. No.
Yeah, I'm like, don't be trying to jump in this conversation because if you don't know how to do it now, you don't know how to do it.
But it could be like riding a bike, okay? Like I could learn again. I could relearn.
Then you know what? What I would do at that point, I would exit out of the conversation.
Yeah.
Get that bike, ride it around to make sure that I do know how. Yeah. Come back and go, guess what? I do know how to play the flute.
Hey, you know what? I'm just trying to be one of the boys, all right? I'm just trying to like be one in the circle.
No, but that's one of my pet peeves where people are like, oh yeah, I do karate.
I don't know anyone that speaks like that.
I'm like, show me a fucking form then, motherfucker.
Who speaks like that in our circle?
And then they go, oh, no, I did it in the 5th grade. And I'm like, can you do a back spin kick? I don't know how to do it. I did it in the 5th grade. And I'm like, you don't know karate.
Can you speak like that for the rest of this day? I think it's so cute.
Really?
Yeah. And I also think it's really cute right now that I think your neck is stiff. I mean, it's usually always stiff.
My neck is not. It's so loose. Look how loose it is.
No, I mean, you
Whoa,
keep
whoa,
looking
whoa.
at me and you go like this. You don't even rotate your neck
No,
anymore.
look how loose it is. Whoa, it's crazy.
Can you touch the back of your neck
What?
with your head? Go for the back. I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So that's a pet peeve of mine that I just realized is that I hate it when people say they do things when they don't really do it.
what the fuck ever? You have so many pet peeves that you literally do.
Like
you don't
what?
do that
Like what?
one. You don't do that one. You're actually really good
Well,
about
I
that.
don't do my own pet peeves because I would.
Fuck you.
No, by default, people wouldn't do their own pet peeves.
People are fucking by nature hypocrites. All right.
True.
Me included.
That's me. That's one of my pet peeves, being a hypocrite.
Me too, man. I hate that I'm a fucking hypocrite, but I try not to be. You know, I try not to
But
be.
you're
I
the
really,
biggest one I know.
probably because I'm the only one that you know. You have this one where you get pissed when people stand in the middle of the aisles because there's like lanes for you, and then if someone blocks your lane, you're like, "What the fuck?
No, I
Get
don't.
the fuck out of the way."
I just go right around them. Oh, I had an epiphany the other day.
Okay, what happened?
What? You know how there's there's like this stereotype.
I wish this shit was fucking rehearsed and shit.
What?
We're
No,
just
no.
we're a weird bunch of
No,
people.
we're not. So you know how there's a stereotype that Asians are bad drivers,
Is it a stereotype?
or is it a fact?
I mean, I don't know.
Is it a stereotype or is it a fact?
I don't know. I'm asking.
That's
you.
why I'm thinking it's a stereotype because I don't think it's a fact.
Okay.
So I'm thinking it's a stereotype.
I lived in Monterey Park.
Yeah.
And I fucking hated driving in Monterey
Exactly. So I'm saying it's a stereotype where it's like a thing that seems like it's well known, but is it scientifically proven?
Oh,
I don't know.
I see. Okay.
Right. So
Yeah,
I think it's a stereotype.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Right. Kind of
Yeah,
like how
you're right.
like white people like khakis. I don't know. That's
I've never heard that one.
well, I don't know. But it's a stereotype that Asians can't drive, right? And it's not like Asians aren't biologically prepared, right? We have Asian race car drivers. We have Asians with great hand-eye coordination, like the ping pong badminton people. And we have Asians that are very good at physics, very good at math. They can calculate velocity. They can see what the hell's going on. And some of the best drifters in the world are Asians.
Yeah, they're Japanese, right?
Right? So I'm like, why the hell do Asians have this stereotype of being crappy at driving? And you know what I realized what it is?
I thought we figured this out like
What is
years
it?
ago. Well, so for me was like, oh shit, it makes sense for me now why their driving is way more aggressive or just different than just what we know here. So like here, right, if you're going to make a left turn and there's those double lines in the shoulder, I guess it's the shoulder. Or is it the shoulder?
Shoulder, yeah.
Then what you do is you pull your whole car into the shoulder so that you're not blocking any sort of traffic, right? Living in Monterey Park, a lot of the Asian people that I would see wouldn't get completely in the shoulder. They would just kind of like get parallel in the shoulder and they're still blocking the shoulder, which I mean, you're not really blocking, but half of the car is in the shoulder. The other half is still blocking the lane they were trying to get out of. But when I went to Taiwan and I've just been to different parts of Asia, I don't know if Japan's like this. Japan's pretty orderly, but Taiwan, it was the craziest driving ever.
Well, Joe
Like-
says his mom sucked at driving too, so I think it's everywhere.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. In Japan, it looked really orderly, but in Taiwan, and I've heard that Vietnam's even crazier. Like the driving, like there's like the way the lane is divided too. Like bikes go on one side, and then the cars. You have to be more of an aggressive driver because everyone's just trying to get to work, and it's just like a freaking ant farm of just people just trying to get to work, and like they kind of use things as like stop signs and things as like lights as reference for the most part. Like they do.
They're all suggestions, yeah.
Yeah, there's suggestions, but like it's the most aggressive driving ever. So when I saw that and then I come back to the States, I'm like, oh shit, I get why the driving here is that way. You know, it's pretty fucking aggressive.
So my epiphany goes one layer deeper than that.
Oh, okay.
You know how in the Asian household, right? The very stereotypical thing is the dad never tells you he loves you. He just
Okay.
buys you food. And then like, I guess if you need a car, he helps you. And maybe
That sounds like my dad.
And maybe even later on when you need to buy a house, he gives you a down payment, but he barely looks at you.
That sounds my
He
dad.
might open his newspaper and just kind of look at you. And then later you're like, Dad, do you love me?
I think my dad's Asian.
Do you love me at all, Dad? And he go, what the hell? You don't see the house? You don't see the car? You don't see all the food I buy for
What
you?
the fuck?
All that shit?
You're
You know?
like talking about my dad.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so There's that part, right? And what I realized when I was boiling it down, and what hit me was, in Asians, we actually aren't very communicative, right? A lot of our feelings are on the inside. And I think Asians live by almost this mantra of show, don't tell. That's kind of like how Asians live, right? Where I think in the Western world, you either tell as much as you show, or many times you tell more than you show. So like a lot of the things that my parents used to make fun of me about would be like, from their perspective, like the Western house, would be like, oh, they say, I love you, oh, so many times. And then the kid go, hey, Dad, I want to go to college. Can you help me? No, fuck you. You 18. Go outside. Go do yourself. So like my mom's like, is that really love? I don't know why my mom's Vietnamese, but it's like, is that really love? I don't tell you that I love you one time, but you are going to college. Get what? I pay for that shit. So it's from the Western philosophy and the Eastern philosophy. It's show, don't tell. Western philosophy, you tell way more than you show, right? So the communication is way off. And then, so that's when it clicked, where I'm like, oh shit. Because in America, since we talk, we're more expressive and communicative. You go, I need to make a left turn. I signal, hey world, I need to make a left turn. Everyone see that? Making a left turn because my actions affect society. They make a left turn. Asian is like, guess what I'm gonna do? And then they just turn left because they're not used to expressing things. A lot of them is like, hey, everybody, you guys should know what I'm about to do, okay? You see my eye, I look around and shit, I might make a left turn or right turn. So everybody better guess. So I think that's why. God. So I think that's why, like, when Asians are driving, if you notice 3 Asians driving, they don't really get mad at each other. If one person cuts the other person off, the other one just maneuvers because I think they're just, oh, you're going to do that shit? I do this shit. You do that shit? I do that shit. And they're just assuming the position because that's already how they're used to, like, communicating. You know, like your dad comes in, slams the door and go, your mom doesn't even go, oh shit, how's your day, honey? She goes, I guess he mad. You know, it's just a lot of assuming and just a lot of show, don't telling. So in a lot of cases, show don't tell is actually a nice way to like live, but on the streets, it's the worst way of living because by the time you think someone's about to turn, you learn from either them cutting you off or because you already saw their tire turning into your lane, and that's when I'm like, oh shit, because like, you know, we all have like our own blueprint or software of like how we're programmed to behave, right? And I think that's why, like, there was also the stereotype a long time ago where like, oh, Asians are so obedient, they listen. And I think it's just because even if they're gonna fight back, they're not gonna fight back then and there. They might fight back on the inside, like, what the fuck, I'm not gonna do that shit. But they'll take time to process things, and then later they'll show you how they feel, you know. And I think that's what like the driving is, where they're not really good at signaling. They don't like let people know what they're gonna do. They just jump out onto the street and then, hello.
I don't know. I mean, you could be right, but you got way too deep for something that could be as quick, like easily answered as like, what does their driving test look like? You know what I mean? Like, how do you get your license out there? Do they just hand it out, or
no? Well, so that's the thing. Asians are also good at fucking tests, right? They're passing these American tests. These Asians are going to the DMV. And they're passing tests from Western drivers. Like the person that's sitting there is probably Hispanic or black or white. You know, it's not an Asian guy. Oh, guess what? I'm gonna hook you up today. You know, it's usually they're like fobs coming.
No. I'm talking about in Asia.
Oh, how the driving test is way harder over there.
What?
Way harder.
How do you know?
Because you got to be borderline NASCAR driver over there. No, I'm not even talking about like on the streets.
Oh.
But like the amount you have to stay close to the line. And I think some countries still, you have to pass both automatic and manual. Even if you own an automatic, you have to pass the test in the manual. You got to really, like, Asian shit, they love getting down to the theoretical. You know what I mean? Like you take martial arts in America, it's like, the first day I'm going to teach you how to block a punch. Because if you're going to come here for self-defense, I'm going to teach you how to apply it the minute you leave. Asian style is like Karate Kid, Mr. Miyagi. You come in here, guess what? You're going to be doing horse stance for an hour.
Oh, shit.
After 6 months, you're like, I don't even know if I know how to defend myself. But guess what? Your legs are rock hard. It's like that's Asian style. So Asian style, they like to treat problems at a theoretical level. And I think because of that, if you throw a DMV test, they'll pass it with flying colors. They know why. But when it comes to operating and just being a normal human being, they're not communicative the way Western people are. And I think that's why, like, you know, like in the West, like you're making eye contact. You want me to come out? I'll come out if you're letting me. And people be like, go ahead. And like, when two people like approach something, they'll be like, oh no, you go, you take it. So they're like, that's like, there's a lot of communication, letting people know how you feel and all that. Like Asians, they're just like, I don't even know what they're looking at. They're just fucking, I just fucking going around, and then they go, and then they just go, and then if you're a Western, you're like, oh, what the fuck? I've been trying to look this fool in the eye the whole time. I don't know what the hell this fool's looking at.
You're stupid.
Why?
I don't know. I think you just got way too deep on something that's not even that deep.
It hit me. It hit me like a ton of bricks, because I was like, oh, that's why. Because Asians just aren't communicative in general. I'm Asian American, and I'm still not that expressive, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I grew up with a lot of Asians. Like I think I grew up with more Asians than I did. No, I think it's pretty fair. But I did grow up with a lot of Asians, specifically. So I went to school in Montebello, Monterey Park area. So there's a lot of Chinese American, like newly immigrated, I guess, Chinese. And then I had a lot of Japanese, and those were the main ones. And then like a sprinkle of like Vietnamese here and there. Like I didn't really have too many Vietnamese. I think I only knew one Korean person in high school. Like that, like the Korean population wasn't that high.
Koreans are mostly in the OC and then in LA.
Well, I'm talking about back in like the 90s.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I grew up with.
So I thought the 90s was it was in K-Town.
That's why I said LA.
Oh, you said LA? My bad.
Yeah, like OC and then LA.
Oh, my bad. I missed that part. Yeah, and like I just really vibed with the Asian culture, you know, like the Asian community, regardless if it was Vietnamese, Chinese, or Japanese. Not so much like Japanese, because Japanese, the community that I grew up in, it was like third or fourth generation already of Japanese.
They're very Americanized.
They were very, very Americanized. So I was vibing more with like the Chinese, like newly immigrated or first generation kids. And like, I just really related to them a lot because like my family's pretty traditional, and like a lot of the Chinese people that I was around, they kept a lot of their traditions that were like pretty strict. And it was like, you're supposed to sit this way, you're supposed to eat this way, you're supposed to talk this way to elders, strangers.
There's a lot of structure, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, and I grew up with a lot of structure. And what I really liked about growing up with the Asian community was like people didn't seem to get frazzled over things that I found to be kind of not important. Like something as small as and some people might find this rude, and sometimes I find it rude, but I like that I can do this and they don't find it rude, is like if I'm at a supermarket, right, and I'm looking at some shit, they just cut right in front of you to get their shit, and then they move. And I'm like, my Western side is like, what the fuck? Hello, proxemics, this is my personal space. But it's like, for them, the proxemics were completely different. And I'm like, oh shit, I kind of like that, you know? Or if you like bump shoulders and shit, like they're not like, excuse me. They're like, oh shit, this person must be in a rush. And like, they just weren't so sensitive to a lot of the things, you know? And so that's just what I really liked about it. Was just like, hey, I'm trying to go somewhere. I'm trying to get to my destination. Let's just get there as quickly as possible. I'm not here to fucking do little chitter chatter.
Yeah, they try not to get caught up over the little shit.
Yeah, and I really appreciated that. I'm like, damn, that's hella tight. Yeah, I really did. I loved the way I grew up, you know? Like I grew up in East LA, and it's just a very, very Mexican pocket. Like if we saw a white person or an Asian person or a black person in our neighborhood, the first thing everyone thought was they're either here for drugs, they're here to collect rent, or they're fucking lost. You know, like it wasn't like, I didn't grow up in a very diverse neighborhood.
Is it one of those where like if people are watering their lawns, if they saw like an Asian person, they're just like this?
Yeah,
and then
we're
the water
staring.
just keeps going?
Yeah, because we're just like, this motherfucker's lost. Like there's no reason why
How would you approach them? Go, hey, ching chong.
No, I mean they weren't walking. Like it's a hood. Like it looks intimidating. Like if you're not from that area,
Oh, so
you're
they're
not
driving. It's full probably driving, looking at the floor. So,
No, and we're like I used to live close to like where I grew up. I lived close to a freeway. So like you do get a lot of people passing by, but the ones that were slowing down in the neighborhood, you're like, oh, this fool is here for some shit, you know? So that's why for me, I was like, we were always like, oh, they're here to pick up rent.
yeah.
So I was very like happy that my mom, who worked at a school in Montebello, she was able to get me in like the school district in that city.
Yeah.
So like that's when I was exposed to more Asian people and stuff, and I was like, damn, this is tight. Diversity, that's tight.
Did you go home and go, man, I wish home was more like school?
Well, because I was on lockdown, like that's why this quarantining shit to me.
Because you grew up on lockdown.
I grew up this way, you know.
Yeah.
That's sad, but yeah, I did because I'm like, damn, at least I get to see people because my parents didn't let me play outside and shit because it was so hood, you know.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is I think my upbringing is completely opposite from yours, but now I really appreciate my upbringing. So my upbringing was like not only just Asian with a lot of structure, but you know my mom, right? Like she's extremely strict, so 10 times the structure. So it's almost like when you go inside my house, it's almost like you're going through TSA. Very specific things that you do. You open the door, you come in, take off your shoes, immediately put it to the right. You hang your keys on the right. Like it's almost like before you get on the plane, take off your backpack.
Man, why can't you do that here? I love that.
So you do all these things that are very, very specific. If not, you're in trouble, right? So that's why, you know, when you leave the house or like when you don't have a routine, it blows my mind. Because I'm like,
when I'm like, fuck, I forgot to bring my glasses.
How is your exit and entry different every day? Like it's almost like each day you get on the airplane, it's a different thing. So that's why when we had TSA, people were complaining. I'm like, it didn't really bother me because I already had my routine. You know, by the time I got
I don't think people are pissed because of the routine. I think people are pissed because they have to wait forever.
And, well, they wait forever because people don't have a routine. You know how there's like, you see the TSA agent, here's still like, laptops out, shoes out, laptops and shoes, not in the same box. No, you're too much water. So they're so used to hearing themselves because they've been saying the same shit. So I think people also don't have a routine. So when they're going, they like one time they might come and unbuckle their belt first. Then the next time they go.
Are you talking about the experienced flyer or the novice flyers?
Both. And sometimes they go and then they're taking off their shoes first. Or sometimes like they go and they go, oh shit, I did brought this. Like I've never flown with a pants that need a belt. Ever. Because I'm so used to routine, right? So going back to growing up, before you come in, so regardless of why you're coming inside the house, is it a poo-poo emergency?
Poo-poo.
Is it
That was cute.
Are you just coming home from school? Or are you like sneaking inside the house? You always come in, regardless of the urgency, you have this specific way of going inside the house, right? Then I go to my best friend's house. He's half white, half Chinese, but his mom is like fourth generation, doesn't even know how to speak Chinese, so it's pretty much just full American. Sometimes we're playing soccer and it's just like the commercials. Hey, you want to get some Capri Suns? All right, dude. And we run in and he has a soccer ball in his hands. And when we pass through the doorway and I see that he didn't take his shoes off or like he still has sweat, I'm like, oh my God, you're crazy.
Everything slows down.
Yeah. And then we go to the refrigerator and then like his mom's right there. And I'm like, he didn't even say hi first. Because I'm so like in my household, if there's an adult there, you address them first. That's first and foremost before you do anything. Hey, ma. Hey, grandpa. Hey, whatever. So I'm used to that, right? So
yeah,
even
same.
when I'm coming tired from a run right now, and I'm in a rush and I need to go take a shower so I can go do whatever. When I see your mom, I'm still like, hey, ma. So sorry, I gotta go. I just address the adult, and I'm just like, he didn't see anything to his mom. And then he would get the Capri Suns, and then we would like just plop on the couch all sweaty. Like we weren't. If you're sweaty, you're not allowed to be on the couch. You better go take a shower before you go on the couch.
What?
So it was just like, Did you
guys have white couches? The fuck?
I don't know, but it's just a lot of extreme order.
Oh my
and
God.
So
they took your childhood
yeah,
away.
so when I saw that, I'm like, this is awesome. Because I'm like, we put our feet on the coffee table. We're chilling. Because it's just about being in the moment. You know, and the moment is right now. We just played soccer. We're just going to rest a little bit. We're going to go right back outside. We're not going to be on the couch for hours. We're just going to be on the couch for like 10 minutes while we enjoy these Capri Suns. Once we're done in like 5-10 minutes, we're going to go right back outside. And I thought that was so cool. And I kind of like hated the structure and the routine. But then later, when I'm older now, and I think back about it, I'm like, I actually really like the structure and routine because when I see people go, where's my phone? Where's my keys? I can never relate because I always have my 1, 2, 3.
Why are you talking shit, bro? Just call me out. Just call me out.
I'm not trying to call you out. I'm
That's
like,
literally
how
what
do you
I do
lose your phone?
every day.
How do you lose your keys? I always have my 1, 2, 3. I know exactly where everything is at. If I open my backpack,
You don't know where the fuck everything is at.
if you
Suck
take
it.
if you put all 4 of my backpacks right now and you open all of them, they are organized the exact same way. The emergency, the pens, the whatever, the keys, everything is organized the exact same way.
I like how you call that shit organized. It's thrown. Maybe you throw shit in the same or similar pockets,
I'm Asian
but it's not
American.
organized.
That's the American part where I throw shit in there.
I'm fucking Mexican American, and I don't throw shit in there. Everything has its purpose and its pockets, and it's neatly organized.
You don't even know if you have contacts in right now.
No, I don't have. I don't have contacts at all.
See,
No,
your routine's all jacked up.
it is jacked up, but my
You
shit's
probably
organized.
didn't even brush your teeth yet.
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
You swear?
You want to smell my mouth?
Yeah. Does it smell like it?
Stupid.
Just kidding.
Dude, I would always tell, like, you know when you accidentally make fart noises with your shoe or
Yeah.
you step the wrong way or something and it's an accidental fart noise? My mom used to hate when I was like, because I'd be like, did you fart? My mom's like, smell me, stupid. But she would say it in Spanish, like, huéleme, pendeja. And she'd always win because
Why
I'm
is
like,
she so ashamed of farting?
she's not. It's just, I think the way I asked it, she didn't like. But it's like she didn't teach me how not to ask it.
It was so accusational.
Yeah. But I'm like little, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm not even in junior high yet. Like I'm a little kid and she'd be like, smell my butt. Smell my butt.
That's what Tiger does right now. Like he hears it like that. He goes, you fought.
I think he says it. I think it's not an accusation. He just says that you did it. He goes, farted?
Farted? What's that, fart?
Or if he does, he goes, I farted.
Yeah.
So cute. Yeah. So she'd always win because I'm like, because you're a little kid, you don't want to smell someone's butt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, ooh, I'm not going to smell your butt. That's gross. So she'd always win. So maybe if she did fart, she'd never, I would never know because she knew that I couldn't call her bluff. Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell were we talking about? Oh, the orderly thing. Yeah, I feel attacked.
No, I mean, that's one thing that I grew up with that I think was too much structure. But then now looking back, I'm like, oh man, that was pretty cool. I kind of really enjoy that because it really did help me streamline my life now. And,
yeah, you're pretty organized. You're a man of routine.
And it helps me fit into places with structure. You know, I think that's why I did well in the military and all that stuff. Or I probably do, like I hated academia, but I probably do well in academia because I just do well with structure because I think there's just so much structure at home. So it's easy.
You know what's cute? Sometimes you use like bigger words.
Yeah.
I don't know if academia would be considered a big word, but you use more, I don't know, like you use less slang. And when you do use less slang, it throws me off. Like when you said academia, like I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But because I'm not used to you speaking that way, because usually you'd be like, oh, you know, when I was just going to school, you know, or like.
School's not slang.
No, I didn't say it was a slang, but I guess I did, right?
What the hell are you talking about? You need more routine in your life.
I'm just saying that I'm not used to you being more formal in your speech.
Oh, really?
That's all. Yeah. So when you do get a little bit more formal, it always throws me off because you're just kind of ghetto. I'm kind of ghetto.
I'm ghetto, really?
Are you kidding me?
What?
Are you kidding me?
You think I'm ghetto?
Yes, I think you're ghetto.
What?
Yes. What the fuck?
Even it's been like over 10 years.
That what? Over 10 years, that what?
I mean, I could tell like when we first did JK, a lot of people would meet me like, oh man, damn, Barnes are pretty ghetto. Well, it's because we did kind of grow up in like the Asian hood. So there's reminiscences of that kind of stuff. But now, I mean, I think I'm pretty refined. I wear Lululemon.
In a ghetto way?
What? What do you mean?
You're tripping. I mean,
how am I ghetto?
There's a lot of shit that you do that's ghetto.
Like what?
First of all, just wearing freaking, well, I don't know if that's ghetto, but
Lululemons?
No.
That's classy.
I mean, you try to wear that to classy places. That's ghetto.
That's trashy.
Okay, there's a difference?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What's ghetto then to you?
Like hood-like nature. As the kids might say, ratchet.
No. Oh, I guess so. I guess it is ratchet. You know what? Forget it. I don't want to get into these young people words because then I'm going to feel really, really old.
Oh, fine.
And I'm going to use them wrong. And they'll be like, okay, boomer. And I'm going to be like, you're not wrong.
I am a boomer.
Yeah, I know. Me too, man. And I don't know if I mind it. I think I like it. I think like I hear shit that my parents would tell me. I hear it in my head to reply to this younger generation or my like niece who's like 16. And I'm like, oh, that's what my parents would hear. You know, like if I'm listening to music and my mom would be like, I don't know what they're saying. Like now I'm like, oh, I get it. Or like, I don't like that. You call that music? Like, I'm like, oh. Or like, what word is that? What are you talking about? That's me right now, man. Fuck. Anyway, this is a nice conversation.
Thank you.
This is really. I mean, you can say that to me too. It's not just about you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I love you. All right. Well, yeah, y'all. It looks like we're wrapping it up. Do you want to shout out our sponsor one more time?
Shout outs to Manscaped. Use BAIL20 at checkout to get 20% off plus free shipping. And always check out barbellbrigade.com.
Thanks, guys. See you guys next time.